Have you ever been tired from giving your energy to narcissistic family members, false friends, exes, manipulative spiritual leaders, or guilt-tripping religions? In this video, let's cover the neuroscience, the epigenetics, and the energy science explanations of why control tactics work and how to reclaim your freedom with dignity, with clarity, and with your own personal power. Hi, I'm Dr. Jo Messenger. If you're new here, welcome in. And if we've met before, it's great to see you again. We've all seen the charades of good intentions, haven't we? We've all met them, the saints of society. The ones who host charity luncheons, quote scriptures, and talk about love and light while energetically draining everyone around them. I knew such a group. They called themselves good Catholics, meeting regularly for neighbourly get-togethers and social communion. But in reality, the group was a puppet theatre, controlled by a woman whose charm could have earned her an Oscar if Oscar statues were given for energetic manipulation. She reminded me of Ghislaine Maxwell in Designer Entitlement. The puppet master, hiding behind piety, she plied her circle with whiskey, with weed, with flattery, with cheating, with creating a party atmosphere that masked the ritual, the real reason that she had created. She created the party environment that masked harnessing the sexual and emotional energy of the others to maintain her facade and power. She'd host the gatherings of laughter and indulgence and then quietly orchestrate psychic attacks and smear campaigns against any woman who dared to see through her illusion, especially the healers, the spiritual ones, and the self-empowered ones. The irony? She claimed low libido to avoid participation and to engineer it for the others to do the dirty work, all the while manipulating the sexual energy of those around her for her control. This was not spirituality. This was energetic vampirism, a rosary disguise. Why do people fall for such manipulation? Why does the brain fall for manipulation? Neuroscience shows that when we bond through shared faith, through community, through a purpose, our brains release oxytocin, the feel-good hormone. It's the same hormone that bonds mothers and babies, and it bonds the followers to charismatic leaders. The problem? The problem is that when that trust is abused, your amygdala, the fear center in the brain, and your prefrontal cortex, the reasoning center at the front of your brain, the problem is when they go to war with each other. Because if your amygdala and your prefrontal cortex are on different missions, you feel uneasy but can't explain why. So there's a tendency for you to override your intuition. There's a tendency to override your intuition to keep the peace. And that's how ego-driven manipulators win. They drive that wedge between your intuition and your logic. They hijack people's neurochemistry. They confuse their moral compass and use guilt, shame, or sin narratives to keep people small. Epigenetically, this stress chemistry switches on genes associated with inflammation, with depression and self-doubt. making people even easier to control. Energetically, their aura weakens, their frequency lowers, and they stop manifesting their own reality and start feeding the other persons, the charismatic persons. So how can you break free from these people, from these groups, from these institutions? How can you break free both physically and energetically from these people and these groups? Step one is to see through the performance. Every manipulative system relies on image, be it religion, relationship, or New Age cults. So ask yourself, who benefits from my silence? Who gains power, money, admiration, prestige, or a false throne from my participation? Who drains my energy, my time, my peace under the banner of love, light, duty, superiority, entitlement, class, wealth, social position, moral high grounds, or whatever else? Who's benefiting? Because the moment you name the pattern, you crack the spell. Step two is to rewrite your nerve system. Rewire which nerves are wiring together and which ones are firing together. You can't heal spiritual manipulation with logic alone. You must also address your body. So practice coherent breathing. Breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds. You can do it anywhere, anytime almost. Reconnect with physical grounding. Send your energetic cords down into the earth. Be in nature, sunlight, and have movement. Move your body. Affirm something like this daily. I'm safe in my own truth. I release all false authority. This resets your vagus nerve. It restores your intuitive clarity. And step 3 is to cut the energetic cords. Manipulators hook into your chakras. Manipulators hook into your energy centers that control your nerve plexi, your endocrine glands, your organ systems, tissues, and functions. And they especially hook into your solar plexus power and your sacral creativity, sexuality, and sensuality. So to clear this from you, visualize all of the cords between you and them dissolving in golden light. If you're familiar with the Australian bushflower essences, the angel's word or angel sword, same essence, different pronunciation, is the essence that cuts cords between you and another person. And in the vibrational essences of the ancient civilizations, it's the Dirigenia essence that cuts the cords between you and groups. Also, forgive them, but don't reconnect with them or allow them to reconnect with you. Forgive them even if they undermined you and kept you trapped for years. Even if they siphoned your energy and smeared your reputation, destroyed your work, your relationships, whatever it is that they did for you or to you, forgive them. Because if you don't, you'll stay karmically attached to them and they win all over again. Replace the void with pure, radiant self-love. Fill yourself up with your own projects, with your relationships, with your hobbies, and whatever you enjoy that raises your vibration. Your music, your singing, your dancing, your glass of sparkling mineral water with your best friend, whatever it is for you. What are these things for you? Make a list. Do something off that list every day. Energetically, This is all like closing the door to psychic burglars and changing the locks. And there's a science to freedom and to manifestation. When you reclaim your energy, your electromagnetic field, it strengthens. This is measurable through heart coherence research. Your brain waves synchronize with your heart field, and suddenly your manifestation ability becomes effortless again. Especially if it was effortless before you connected with these people or joined these groups. Freedom isn't just emotional, it's also psychological. So epigenetically, your self-worth genes turn back on when you take these steps. Neurochemically, your dopamine rewards you for your progress instead of seeking approval from the manipulators. Spiritually, your soul resumes its original frequency, no longer hijacked by guilt, shame, blame, or false hierarchies. You're meant to co-create, not codepend. So ask yourself, who in my life presents as holy but leaves me feeling drained or small? What guilt or fear do I still carry from the past religious or spiritual experiences? How can I reclaim my direct sacred connection without the middlemen, without the manipulators? What does freedom feel like in my body rather than in my beliefs? What's the takeaway from all this? The age of blind devotion is over. No more giving your light to addictions, to false leaders, or inauthentic partnerships. Real spirituality it's not from dominance, submission. It invites your sovereignty. So the next time you feel drained by a person, a group, or an ideology who claims light while spreading control, remember, spirit doesn't need blind followers. It needs you to be awake, to be accountable, and to be sovereign. Don't be anyone's victim. Don't be a victim to anyone or anything. Count your blessings, learn your lessons, take back your power, and use it wisely.